Hey guys, alright, today we are applying our percents to tax, tip, and commission. Your objective for today, you will determine cost by calculating tax, tip, and commission. Make sure you write down everything on the screen, and make sure you write down everything I write down, and make sure you're taking your notes Cornell note style. Alright, let's talk about tax and tip first. You've probably heard of these before. So sales tax, that is a charge on goods that is calculated as a percentage of the purchase price. So let's say you go to Target and buy some groceries. Well, you not only have to pay for your groceries, but you will get charged tax, and that's a percentage out of that price. That will be added on, and your total cost will be more than what all the items actually cost. For a tip, that's a percentage of the price of a service that goes to the service worker. So let's say you go have dinner at Chili's and you get your bill. Well, you not only have to pay for whatever food you got, but you have to take a percentage of that and add it on as a tip. And that extra amount that you pay actually goes to your server. So let's talk about the steps to calculate tax and tip. The first thing you want to do is change the percent to a decimal. Remember, paddle to the left, so you move that decimal left 2 places. Then you want to multiply the original cost by the decimal. Once you have done that, this would be the amount of tax or tip. Now, if you want to find the total cost, you're going to add the product from step 2, so the amount of tax or tip. You're going to add that to the original cost. And of course, since this is dealing with money, we want to round to the nearest cent, which would be in the hundredths place. So let's do some examples together. All right, let's talk about tax. Calculate 8.25% sales tax for a $74 purchase from a grocery store. All right, so step 1, we want to change the percent to a decimal. So we have 8.25%. Remember, we want to paddle to the left, so I'm going to take this decimal and I'm going to move it 2 places to the left. Remember, empty space is filled with a 0, so I would have 0.0825. Now my second step would be to multiply the original cost by the decimal. So my original cost is $74. I want to multiply that by 0.0825. Since this number is longer, I'm going to put that on the top of the multiplication problem. And then I'm going to put 74 below that. Alright, now 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 1 is 33. 0 times 4 is 0, plus 3 is 3. I'm going to put my placeholder 0 here. 5 times 7 is 35, carry the 3. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 3 is 17. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 1 is 57. And then, of course, 0 times 7 would just be 0. Now I'm going to add all of that together. I get 0, 5, 10, carry my 1. 1 plus 3 plus 7 is 11, and 1 plus 5 is 6. Now I have to see where my decimal goes in my answer. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places here. 74 does not have any decimal places, so I have a total of 4. So I want to have 4 numbers behind the decimal, so I'm going to hop over 1, 2, 3, 4 places, and this is what I get. Now, we are dealing with money, so I want to round this to the nearest hundredths place. So I have a 0 in the hundredths, and I have a 5 next to it. 5 or more means I'm going to bump this up. So our amount of tax would be $6.10. All right, now what would be the total cost for this purchase? This would be our step 3. So for the total cost, we want to add the product from step 2, which is the amount of tax, to the original cost. So we have $6.10 for tax, and then our purchase was originally $74. So I want to do $74 plus $6.10. Keep in mind, anytime you add or subtract with decimals, you want to line up your decimals. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, 4 plus 6 is 10, and 1 plus 7 is 8. So the total cost for that purchase would be $80.10. All right, let's talk about tip. Calculate a 20% tip for a $48 purchase from a restaurant. All right, step 1, we want to change our 20% to a decimal. So we're going to paddle to the left 2 places, and we get 0.2 or 0.2. Our second step, we want to multiply the original cost by that decimal. So our original cost is $48. I want to multiply that times our 0.2. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry my 1. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. And then if I multiply these times 0, I'm just going to get zeros here. So I can just stop here because it won't change anything if I put the zeros. Now I have to count my decimals. There are no decimals in 48. There is 1 decimal place in 0.2. So I need to have 1 in my answer. So it would go right here. And remember, this is money. So this means $9.60 would be the tip. But now we want to know the total cost for the meal. So step 3, we want to add the product, that would be the amount of the tip. We want to add that to the original cost. So it was originally $48, but now I want to add the amount of the tip. That would be $9.60. And I lined up my decimals. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 6 is 6. 8 plus 9 is 17. And 1 plus 4 is 5. So the total cost of the meal would be $57.60. All right, let's talk about commission. Commission is the amount a salesperson earns when he or she sells a product. A car salesman is probably something you're very familiar with. Car salesmen get commission whenever they sell cars. That means a certain percentage of that cost is actually going to that salesperson. So whenever we want to calculate commission, this is very similar to what we just did for tax and tip. So first of all, we want to change the percent to a decimal. Second, we want to multiply the dollar amount by the discount decimal, which is what we got from number 1. This amount will be the commission. And then, of course, since we're dealing with money, we want to round to the nearest cent in the hundredths place, if necessary. So let's do an example together. All right, a real estate agent makes a 4% commission on property she sells. If she sold a house for $130,000, how much did she earn in commission? All right, so step 1, we want to change the percent to a decimal. We have 4%. Percent to a decimal, we want to paddle to the left, so I'm going to go 1, 2. Remember, empty space gets filled with a 0. So this is 0.04. Our second step, we want to multiply the dollar amount by the discount decimal. So the dollar amount would be $130,000. And then I'm going to multiply that by the decimal. And I'm sorry, that's not a discount decimal. It's just by the decimal. So we want to multiply that times 0.04. All right, 0 times 4, 0 times 4, 0 times 4, and 0 times 4 again. Then we have 3 times 4, which is 12. Carry the 1. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I have no decimal places here. I have 2 here. So I should have 2 decimal places in my answer, so I hop over 2 places. So the amount of commission, that would be $5,200. If you ask me, that's a pretty good amount of commission. All right, I want you to try examples 4, 5, and 6 on your own. Make sure you show all of your work in your spiral, and make sure that you have included this with your notes, because this will also be a part of your grade. Have a good day, and I will see you on Monday.